Welcome guys. In this lecture we are going to see an important topic, that is operators. So I have already created an operator file, Jupyter file. You know how to create that. Let's move on there. This is operators. Okay, operators perform operations between operands, that is between variables and values. Starting with the first type, arithmetic operators. Now arithmetic operators perform general mathematical operations. Let's see. So I've got two inputs, a equal to int input enter first number, b equal to int input enter second number. This will help to ask user to at runtime to place some values. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, floor division, remainder, raised to the power, that is exponential. So these are some basic arithmetic operation. Let's write something. First number 8, second number 5. Okay, shift enter. So 8 plus 5 is 13, 8 minus 5 is 3, 8 into 5 is 40, 8 divided by 5 is 1.6, and that is division, single slash. And floor division means decimal part is ignored, so 1.6, 0.6 has been ignored and only 1 will be presented as answer. Remainder will give 8 divided by 5, so 8 minus 5, 3 will be remainder, and raised to the power 8 to the power 5. In a string, plus is used to join two strings, and this is known as concatenation. I've got iron and I've got man, and I'm using these two strings. I'm concatenating them. Okay, I can remove this space here also and see what happens. Iron man. Other than this plus and into, all other arithmetic operators are for numeric values only. Comparison operators are used to compare two values, like a is equal to b, a is less than b, a is greater than b, or a is not equal to b, a is less than or equal to b, a is greater than or equal to b. Let me write again 8 and 5. Okay, see, 8 is equal to 5, false. 8 is less than 5, false. Again I am using a is less than b, that's why I am getting this false. If I write b is greater than a, then maybe it will be true. Greater than, 8 is greater than 5, yes. 8 is not equal to 5, yes. 8 is less than or equal to, no. 8 is greater than or equal to, yes, 8 is greater than. So you see, this is comparison and it is giving the answer in boolean, either true or false. Moving on, identity operators are used to compare the objects not if they are equal but if they are actually the same object with same memory. Is and is not are the two identity operators. Let's see what does this mean. A equal to, enter first number 8, and let me enter 5 again. See, type of a is int, yes, type of a is integer, 8 is integer, and now I've written type of b is not int, so it is false because 5 is also an integer. Okay, moving on, this another part. What does that memory location statement mean? Now I've got a equal to 10, b equal to 10, and I am printing print a is b. So when I will write a is b, what will happen? What will happen? See, this is true, and there is a function called identity function, id, and syntax is print id, and in parenthesis I have to write the variable name in identity function. It's not operator, it's function, and I can't leave it blank. In the third point I have left it blank. So you can see when I run this, two memory location to some arbitrary values are generated and they are equal. If you see, those values are equal. So what this id is doing, let me place my cursor here and shift plus tab key I am pressing. See what happens. It will give the information. Let me click this. So this concept has been derived from C Python. Uses the object's memory address. It means that a is equal to 10 and b is equal to 10, and they are pointing at the same memory location, and that's why a is b is giving the true condition. A is b is true because they are pointing or giving the same memory location. So this is the feature of using id function. and you can't leave this blank. You see the error? Exactly one argument it takes. Another is membership operator. These are operators used to validate the membership of a value, test for membership in a sequence such as string, list or tuple. And in not in are the two membership operators. So I have got a list here. I have printed Thor in my list. It is in my list, so it is giving true. Thanos in my list. No, let me check it again. Not in my list. Now this will be true. Okay. Moving on, logical operators. There are three logical operators in Python: logical AND, logical OR, logical NOT. Let's see how to use it. A is equal to 5, B equal to 4, A and B, A or B, not A, not B. So these are the syntax how to write the logical operators. And in NOT there is a statement I have written. Let me run this first, shift enter. Okay, so it is giving false. If the boolean value is true, it returns false. It means that A is equal to 5. Let me remove this 5 and write 0. So it will be treated as, if the boolean value is false, then it will return true. Other than 0 or other than any empty number, if there is any value, then it will return false, because not operator means if the boolean value is true, it will return false. Now how this output A and B, A or B is giving 4 and 5 output, let me check. Hash 101, hash 100, these are the binary representation, 3-bit binary representation of 5 and 4. And if you remember your digital electronic concepts, AND operation means if all inputs are logically high, then output will be high. So here it is giving 4 because 10 is 0, 00 is 0 and 11 is 1. That is 100, 4. Same you can check for 5 also. Moving on, bitwise operator. Used to perform bitwise calculations on integers. Integers are first converted into binary and then operations are performed on bit by bit, and that is an internal operation. And the result is returned in decimal format. Okay, A is equal to 1010, B is equal to, I have written 0, B 100. What if I don't write here B? Okay, so it will give an error. Let me run this and it will show invalid token, because if I have to write binary number, I can't start with 0, and if I am starting it with 0, then I have to write B. So bitwise AND is written as ampersand or as pipe symbol, NOT is written by tilde symbol, and XOR is given by caret symbol. So running it, what will happen? Okay, now this AND operation is working similarly like we just see in above cell for 5 and 4. So you can check that here also. 0 0 is 0, 1 0 will be 0, 0 1 will be 0, and 1 0 will be 0. That's why bitwise AND is giving 0. The same you can check for OR, NOT and XOR. And in NOT you have to simply remember that NOT will give ones complement as output simply. So moving on, this is an important concept we are going to see now: left shift and right shift in bitwise. So I've got a number C equal to 5, D equal to 10. Bitwise left shift and bitwise right shift, I have written C and double less than sign and 3. It means that I want to shift left by 3 positions, and similarly I want to shift right by 1 position. How this output 40 and 5 has been obtained, let's see. 5 can be written in 8-bit binary representation as 00000101. If I shift this 1 bit, what happens? This extreme left side 0 will be removed, and after one shift it will become 0000101, and then I have to add 1 0 at the right side. Let me write this 0 in bracket. Okay, so this 0 written in bracket is the 0 I have added, because 1 0 from left side has been removed or shifted. Let me do one more shifting. Again the 0 from left hand side will be removed and 1 0 from right hand side will be added. this is double zero in brackets. So two zeros have been added now. One is previous and one is new. Again I am shifting one more time. Again 1 0 from left side will be removed. It will become 0 0 1 0 1, and two zeros already have been added. Now one more new 0 has been added. And now this entire binary sequence after getting converted into decimal will be 40. So you have to remember that binary to decimal conversion, that is in digital electronics, and after getting this converted into decimal you will get this result 40. And let me tell you a trick. For one left shift, multiply your number by 2. This is simple left shift, bitwise left shift rule. If you are doing left shift, for every left shift, you have to multiply your number by 2, or your result obtained by 2. Like here I have got the number 5, and I have to shift it 3 times. So for first shift 5 into 10, 5 into 2. For second shift again 10 into 2. And for third shift again 20 into 2. That's why I'm getting the result 40. Okay. And similarly, in right shifting you have to divide the number by 2 for every shift. For one right shift, divide your number by 2. Whatever result you obtained, again you divide it by 2 if another shift is required. So for every shift you simply have to divide your result by 2 for right shift, and the result you will obtain will be floor division result. It means that the decimal part will be ignored. Like here I am right shifting by one position, so my answer will be divided by 2, that is 10 divided by 2, and I am getting the result as 5. If I change this, then my result will be again divided, means 5 divided by 2, 10 divided by 2, 5, 5 divided by 2, 2.5, and I am getting floor division, so that 0.5 will be removed and only 2 will be obtained. Moving on to our last operator, that is assignment operator. It is used to assign values. It is very simple. X equal to 10, print x means 10 has been assigned to variable x. A plus 1 equal to 1, it means that you are adding a equal to a plus 1 and then you are assigning it back to a. It means that your original variable value will be changed. Earlier it was a equal to 10, and now after running this it will become 11, because you have not only incremented it but you have also assigned it back. Let me run this. Okay, so you can check this assignment back operators for many things, for subtraction, division, multiplication, and logic, remainder. Okay, so this was all about operators. I hope you got it correctly. Thank you, and do comment whatever you feel like. If you have any doubt, meet you in next